I'm feeling power between all the legal halls of shame. Even though yeah, good morning, good morning. It is 6:31. It is Wednesday. It's October 29th. My name is Scott Redler. I'm the Chief Strategic Officer of T3Live.com. I am the founder of Red Dog Mindset. This is your 630 Club where I give you guys levels. I give you what's in play. I give you ways to make money, what the market's focusing on. And today is Fed Day. The entire world knows they're going to cut a quarter. The question is, how dovish or hawkish will they be thereafter? And will the market, shake things up? It's shaking things up always happens, right? Real quickly before I say hello to everyone, if you take a look here, for some reason the window's a little close. The window's a little. Let's see this one. There you go. Better to be stronger on the chart and less on my big forehead. Anyway, you have a doji here. Sometimes on Fed Day, just to let you know, they do a lot of false moves, a lot of back and forth, and it's not the easiest thing to do. But if you're prepared, at least you know. Sometimes they break above the high end and squeeze out some shorts and then come back below, which you know how to navigate. And sometimes they break below the low. They do some probing down and then come back above. You get a move at 2 o'clock when the statements come out, and then you sometimes get the conference at 2:30, and then sometimes the last half an hour, and then you get an opposite the day after. It all happens. Anyway, good morning, crew. We have Hayden in the house, Tim, Johnny, Blair, Adam. Let's go. Got Nappy, got Frank Tucci, got Ken Rosenberg. A lot of people waking up doing their thing. Kenneth said he's already did his push-ups this morning to 25-20. Yes, consistency is key. NVIDIA is going parabolic. People love it. Listen, I've taught you guys about NVIDIA every single time on the 630 Club. If you look at NVIDIA and just simplify it, my dogs, everyone gets so mad and everyone has their own narratives. The bottom line is NVIDIA traded absolutely perfect. You had a sideways consolidation right here while the market wasn't sure whether we were going to continue to the upside and the downside. And then I said to you guys in the 630 Club, if you get above 183.50, it opens the door for higher prices. And then you could have measured each spot. And then you take a closer look here. All you needed was preparation in your pivots. So into this move, I was long the 190 calls. And then all of a sudden you had to move up to 190, 178, and then, took off the 190s and then rolled into the 195s. And 195.30 was your pivot. Early morning yesterday, first kiss, it got there, backed off a little bit, and then all of a sudden, Jensen did whatever he did and, triggered above and went to 203. There you go. Not so difficult. You don't have to worry about, is the AI a bubble? Is it a boom? Hey, these are your pivots. This is how you react. This is how you get involved. This is how you make money. And a lot of people made a lot of money. And hopefully you did so too. I did decent because I have so many positions that I had the 195 calls on. I got rid of them close to 200, and that was a double, just a double. Everyone's like, well, Red Dog, you should have held to today. I probably should have held to today, but guess what? I wanted to net money and do it. And now today you have NVIDIA opening up, at a up 7. If you're still long, congratulations. I don't think I know one person short, thank goodness. There are some people who are shorting and say, hey, AI is a bubble. They talk about that on TV. But anyway, so that's 208.75. So if you're long NVIDIA, I would be trimming. Trimming doesn't mean it's a short. It means you trim some. And congratulations. You deserve it. If you're an investor in NVIDIA, congratulations. Hopefully it built wealth for you. It's made you money. It's been fantastic. And, you deserve to give yourself a little bit of a high five. High five. Because everyone on TV wants to talk about all the reasons why you shouldn't be in the market, all the risks of, being in the market, but there's a lot more risk being out of the market. And if you have a process and a plan, you can make a ton of money. And NVIDIA has been one of those names. So congratulations to you. Some people are like, well, Red Dog, Tesla's been so hard this week. I get it. But how hard has it been? It hasn't been so bad. You look where it went to. You had your reversal on earnings. That was a great day. Into this down move, I started buying some TSLL calls, selling some puts, and, it's just not ready to break out yet. But when it does, the same way NVIDIA got above and stayed above 195.30 and finally went, you better be on your toes for if NVIDIA, I mean, if Tesla gets above 470, if Tesla gets above 470 with volume and holds it, not push through fail because there's not enough volume, then you better just sit back and hopefully, works its way to 488. And then at 488, that's your pivot high from December 18th, and gets above that and blow on it, it'll be 500. So hopefully, it's on your radar. I have put sold. I have TSL calls. I'm in the stock right now. It's up 4. I don't know if today is going to be Tesla day, but we shall see. I don't know if you saw what he put out there about his fleets could now become a data center or whatever. It's at 464. So trim a little bit, hold a little bit. There's a lot going on. For those of you in AMD, you can't be so upset. AMD gave you a little bit of a topping tail, but look at this. If you're in it from the gap, we do so many times. We do how to be in versus a gap if you don't trade for a living, or if you're in versus 213, you made a hell of a lot of money. And now you have a little bit of a topping tail extended from the 8-day, so you adjust your size. Some people ask me about Poet. All right, listen, Poet's just a little name that just did a money raise. They just did a money raise at 7.25, and they have 2 new investment banks. And some people think this is going to be a teenage stock, which I do also, in the next 3 to 6 months. So if you want to buy it at 7.25, 7-ish with the institutions instead of chasing it up here, this is probably a good spot to put it on. I have it on. I have some options on. And when it starts getting better, I will be adding to it. But yes, Poet, the small names have not been where the action is. The small names have been a little difficult. Where the action has been is in the Mag 7. Remember last week on the 630 Club, I told you guys, so you didn't know which one to go with. So I said, go with Mags, right? Look at this cup and high handle, ready to go. If you don't know if Apple's going to go or Microsoft's going to go or Netflix, and you want to just have exposure, I said you could be long the Mags versus 62.76 or play it through 65.73 and look at this move. Sometimes you have to frame the trade, and there you go. Looks friggin' awesome. I would be trimming into that. That was another great move. ASTS is not where the action is, Sam. It's just not. It's had a decent move, but these names are not. It was here into the Red Dog reversal sell. And yes, I did sell puts into here. And now it's just like, it's just got to pack and fill, just like iron, just like the data center plays. You got to know what's in play when. So listen, a lot of you guys, keep asking me. You're like, Red Dog, why do you do the 630 Club only Monday through Thursday? I've been doing it Monday through Thursday for free since 2020, and a lot of you guys have been making a lot of money. You could have, watching just in a video alone, you could have made thousands of dollars. So I'm going to make you guys a deal. You guys want a deal? Here, if 50 people sign up for Red Dog Mindset, which is my own company that I started, where I do a 20 and 520, where I do a lot of stuff in the weekends, where I do a lot of free public stuff, and 50 people sign up, I will in November extend the 630 Club Monday through Friday. So in November, I will do Friday 630 Club. So since 2020, I've been just going Monday through Thursday. I will do it on Fridays also in November if I get 50 new signups for Red Dog Mindset. It's been growing. It's been great. You got to get your mind right so you can effectively execute on the X's and O's. Everyone looks at the same prices. Everyone looks at the same charts. You get worn out. You don't have to do the 25-20 every day, but there are a lot of things that I do there, to go over, the mentality and the mindset of longevity that, could benefit you and make you more money watching the 630 Club. So if you want the 630 Club on Fridays, then sign up Red Dog Mindset right here on Twitter, and I'll start doing it on Fridays, at least in November, and we'll see how that goes. Friday, 630 Club, sign up. Crypto's tough. Crypto right now, it's hanging around. It came off lows. It's probably going to fill this gap. I'm still in the IBIT. I did trim some from buying down here into strength. I trimmed some IBIT, but I'm still in there for November 21 calls into this weakness. I might buy a little bit more and trade around it. And for those of you who made a ton of money shorting gold with us, we did that on the 630 Club too. You're getting a nice little bounce, which makes sense. Look at that. Hey, big gap lower, lost the 8-day. We had GLD puts, first 21-day touch was a good cover. That's when I was done with this trade. Some of you guys shorted it into the 8-day, which we put out there. Remember last Thursday, I'm like, guys, if you missed the first short, the retest of the 8-day is a better short. And PS, it got faded there and then came all the way in. And yesterday, if you tuned in, I'm like, guys, get rid of if you're in puts, congratulations, get out. If you want to play a bounce, okay. Now, you're getting a bounce in gold. So what do you do with that bounce? I would trim. It's up 6 at 370. This 371 to 373 area, in my opinion, is a better sell than a buy. So if I were you and you covered your short, congratulations. Maybe you reshorted to be cute again. If you played, look at that nice, beautiful green candle right into support, then trim some. So there's a lot of different ways to make money in the market if you stop friggin' complaining. A lot of complainers out there. A month ago, everyone complained that the Mag 7 wasn't involved and that all the crap was pushing the market. And then the last 2 weeks when things changed, like Apple, remember we got back in Apple and it's been doing great. Got back in Apple right here at 249. All of a sudden, that's when I'm like, hey guys, the Mag 7 is back in play. I've been in Apple since. It's been a great trade. I wish I had more, but the bottom line is, so Channel Guy says, bought the GLD calls perfectly yesterday on the gap down and sold most of it yesterday. All right, so that's cool. How do you subscribe to Red Dog Mindset? If you're on Twitter, there's a subscribe button. Just hit the subscribe button. It's $10 a month. So for $10 a month, you get 5 free 630 clubs besides everything else for free. $10 a month. And now, if you want me to do Fridays, which I will, it's cool. I'll wake up a little earlier. Fridays, we're a little bit more of a relaxed day. I'll do it on Fridays because a lot of people are demanding it. So if I get 50 plus people sign up for the Red Dog Mindset right there on the subscribe button, I'll do it in November. And then if we continue to do it, I'll even do it in December. And we'll see how it goes. Maybe I'll start doing it Monday through Friday instead of just Monday through Thursday. I'll work a little harder. There's nothing wrong with that. Anyway, yeah, Wolf had a nice day yesterday. Am I playing Apple or Amazon into earnings? Well, first of all, look at how beautiful this Apple has been. Apple's at highs now. So it's going to be, when stocks are at all-time highs going into earnings, it makes it very hard to make money into earnings. So Apple doesn't mean it's a short. I'm not quite there yet. I'm in the stock. I don't know what I'm going to do for Thursday. I did buy Amazon pretty well, though. Amazon has been a pain in the ass this year. Amazon has been hard. Broke the wedge to the downside. But on this day, we brought the 230 calls. So I bought 230 calls in the hole, and that was more than a double. So into this move up, I sold the 230 calls, and on a little bit of a pullback, I bought the 235. So did the power play options. And, I'm going to have that through earnings because, maybe they talk about their margins because they're doing all these layoffs. Maybe they start talking about data centers. I don't know. All I know is, it's lagged. It's been a pain in the butt. And if they finally say something that could be a really good catalyst, maybe it gets above this 238 to 242 and gets to 250. If it doesn't, it doesn't. You sold all your Amazon at 231 yesterday. That's cool. So then you could buy some back. Right now Amazon's, down 19 cents today. Not a big deal. Not where the action is. But, it started getting a little bit more traction here. Remember when the AWS went out? That was cute. That turned the stock. Bezos sells every month. I know he's a pain in the ass. You subscribe, Channel Guy, good job. Again, a lot of people have been getting a lot of value from the 630 Club for 5 years. Some of you become Alpha Team members, which is awesome. You trade for a living. You spend the entire morning with me. I'm on the radio from 9:15 to 11:30 talking about what I'm seeing. Guys can see my positions, this and that. Some of you just want to tune in the morning, see what's in play, make some extra money with your job. So, that hasn't made sense for you, but Red Dog Mindset makes sense for you. $10 a month. You get full access to my public Twitter because at some point, I don't even know if that's going to be there. It might be just all Red Dog Mindset. So get grandfathered in. Anyway, Palantir. Yeah, Palantir's all right. It's a little bit of a pain, but it's still hovering. Palantir got above and it's trying to stay above this 187. Looks higher. It's pretty amazing that a high valuation name like this didn't get beat up. It looked like it was going to go down right there and then repaired so you could get out of the way. And now it looks like at some point this is going to take out 192.83 and work its way to 200. So if you're long Palantir, I get it. What's it doing this morning? It's up $1. All right, that's cool. Jay tweeting, join the Alpha team is the best. That's true. I think the Alpha team is unbelievable. The Alpha team, Iron was downgraded to a sell. All right. Well, Iron already, Iron looks, look at Iron. It did a Red Dog reversal right here. Somebody must have known, right? You had a Red Dog reversal sell up here, which was that Wednesday, if you remember. So that got you out after a huge move. Came into, 48-ish. You could have done whatever you wanted here. 3-day rally, got above and failed, and now it's probably down here. And then, this 58-ish could be buyable. Time and a place. Remember ASTS, they did the same thing. ASTS, Red Dog reversal. The day after Oakland, those guys topped. And then it came in, and then into this move, I would have liked to buy here. So what did I do? I sold 62 and $60 puts with $3, made some money. And now this too needs some time. Is Sophie interesting? I feel like yesterday it could have done better. Oh, it actually held in there. Yeah, SoFi, look at that. That's a nice looking chart, SoFi. I remember when I was battling this in the 1250s. So Chase Redler's got a pretty damn good portfolio. Chase bought Apple during the pandemic when I did that video with him from the high school when he opened up his Robinhood account. He has NVIDIA. He has SoFi. He has Bitcoin. So like he's got a nice little I don't even know what they call his generation. But anyway, but that's not trading. But this looked good. He you know what? He bought I think I may have bought it for back here. This, a year ago is down there. So congratulations. SoFi has been a great name. Robinhood. What's Robinhood look like? It's kind of repairing. This has been a fantastic name also. Let it go sideways, and at some point, Robinhood looks like it's going to make new highs. This market's been in fuego. The only people who are pissed off are the ones who think it's not going to end well. The only people who've been rolling up shorts with an opinion. If you don't like Trump, it doesn't mean short the stock market. It doesn't. If you're above the 821 day, you try and stay long. And today, Fed Day is going to be tough. By the way, remember this down here? I don't love Fed Days. Fed Days have so many moves and so much misdirection and such a pain in the ass, and there's so much priced in. So just be careful. What I will say is at least you have a doji here. 685. Does it hold 685 or does it break? Yesterday into strength, I bought some 682 puts just to have on because I have like 20 positions just in case they want to break this and test the gap. Right? The 8 days down here, it could happen. It could happen. It might not. I'm not going net short, but you got to have a little bit of insurance on just in case. Look at all these gaps in the Qs. My goodness. You have a ton. So 629 is your level here. This is 634. I would think, does this hold? If it doesn't hold, if it holds, then they're not letting any overhedged people out. 1, 2, 3, 4 up days. I could see why, I've lost a little bit of money in hedges also. It is. The Wolf's been great. Hopefully you made good money in the Wolf. Remember I told you guys it was going to 16? Well, it went a lot higher. I sold mine here. I never went back to it. Goes to show you that you have to stay engaged. And sometimes if you stay engaged, it never comes back. This one came back, and this one, I guess, has a home above 20. Remember in here, I was telling you guys in the 630 club, the race, right? The race of will the Wolf get to 16 or will Pony get to 30? Well, the Wolf beat the Pony. Wolves are a lot stronger than ponies. But anyway, I did buy Pony back. You guys want to see Pony? Pony looks good. I bought back some Pony. Looks like, this pattern's building. Could probably get back up to 25-ish. So, yes, I'm in some Pony. That's good. Google's reporting tonight. Google's come a long way. I'd be very careful. Like, this thing is priced for perfection. It's been a great trade. It's been an awesome trend. For me, I'm not taking Google. I'll see how it is after. So, once again, listen, guys. Fed days are tough, a lot of different moves. Sometimes you get a move at 2 o'clock, at 2:30, at 3:15. Then when Powell's done speaking, sometimes they try and sell the market. Then the next day is tricky. So if you've been up great money and it's October 29th, don't put your October in jeopardy. Just take a step back and play compelling levels, not no man's land. And if you want Friday's 630 Club, sign up for Red Dog Mindset. Okay, if you've been enjoying Red Dog Mindset Monday through Thursdays for free and you've never joined anything, join Red Dog Mindset. $10 a month. It's safe. It goes to Twitter. That's it. You put it in there and it's done. And I'll start doing Fridays in November. So I'll change just Monday through Thursday to Fridays if 50 plus people sign up for Red Dog Mindset. If not, Monday through Thursday is cool. Everyone can sleep in a little bit on Friday and you guys could do stuff on your own. You're strong enough. You know how to do it. But a lot of people like when I set the tone, I give the levels, I throw out some stuff. Yesterday, if you bought NVIDIA through 195.30, congratulations. You made a ton of money. Right there alone could have made your month just by having one setup. I go over like 10 setups every 630 club. I go over 40 setups in the Alpha team and Redler All Access. But anyway, and I give you a workout. Some guys get up early and like, Red Dog, I want to do the 20 at 520 with you just to see what you're thinking in the morning, get the mind right, listen to your playlist. We had a 90s playlist today. It was pretty cool. A lot of you guys listened to it. Scott, is my shoulder hurting? No, I'm good. We do over-unders, over, under, loosen up those shoulders. Then we do the hips, open up the hips. A lot of Tai Chi type stuff, which is what you want to do when you get older. We've worn our bodies down. I've done 2 Ironman, 10 marathons, Spartan races. So my body's a little worn down. So I'm into a little bit more mobility, into a little bit more stretching, into a little bit more supersets. And that's what I do in those 20 minutes while I'm thinking about the day, thinking about my positions, thinking about multiple plans. And then I get in here and I look at it all visually, besides just in my head when I'm at a higher level. You ever have a runner's high when you're running? You're thinking clearly, you're getting things together. Well, that's a great way to do it. While your endorphins are going and your mind is right, you could play some things in your head and then you could execute with confidence later. Anyway, congratulations. Thanks for tuning in to Vago. Yes, I went over that the other day with you guys. Looks great. Ready to take out 374. If it takes out 374, it can go. Arm is still lagging. And yes, it was a tricky day. I got stopped out. Why did I get stopped out? Well, it traded below this low. And, I might just buy some options and go out a week or two and say that's that. Go buy the $200 calls a month from now, just in case this entire base wants higher prices. So it's going to need a catalyst. Yes, during the run, Jim, great way to brainstorm, right? That's what I used to do when I was training for the Ironman. I used to go to Central Park. I used to run a loop, and I would think about my life, and it would be all clear. That's why every day, 25-20, I'm in the sauna, I have weights, I have a playlist. I'm thinking about what could be trimmed, what levels I want to buy, where I want to maybe make adjustments. And you do that early on, with some positive mindset stuff. Like we listened to the Circle of Life today. Think about your family. Say hello. Text your family right now. Say, good morning. It's Wednesday. Have a great day. Text your kids, because one day your family will not be here, especially if you have older parents. You should hang out with them. And if your kids are out of the house, maybe, say, what's up? How's your week going? Feels good. But anyway, get your mind right. It's Fed Day. Be careful. Know your levels. Nothing in no man's land. And stack some days. I appreciate you.